My dear, our bodies are truly remarkable. Even as you listen to these words, countless processes are taking place within you without requiring conscious instruction. Your heart continues to beat. Your lungs continue exchanging oxygen and carbon dioxide. Your digestive system continues processing nourishment, and your immune system continues observing, communicating, and responding. Cells are maintained, replaced, and repaired according to complex biological signals. You do not have to remain awake all night, reminding your heart to continue its work. You do not need to supervise every breath or direct each cell by name. Life is already active within you. Your body is not waiting for you to become perfect before it begins caring for you. This does not mean that the body can heal every condition without support, nor does it mean that thoughts alone can cure illness. The body can become injured, infected, depleted, or affected by conditions that require medical attention. Yet even when professional care is needed, your body is not an enemy to conquer. It is the living place through which you experience this life. Medicine, nutrition, sleep, rehabilitation, movement, and emotional support can become forms of cooperation with it. You do not have to choose between trusting the body and receiving appropriate care. Seeking help can be one of the clearest ways you honor the intelligence of life within you. I trust my body enough to listen to its signals and give it the support it needs. Think of what happens when you receive a small cut. You do not stand over it and consciously order each biological step. Blood vessels in the area respond to help limit blood loss. Platelets gather at the site, and proteins involved in clotting help form a temporary protective seal. Chemical signals help coordinate the arrival and activity of cells needed for defense and repair. The process is far more complex than the simple version we can describe in a few sentences. Yet it begins without your conscious management. Your role is usually to clean and protect the wound, avoid interfering with it, and seek medical attention if it is deep, contaminated, infected, will not stop bleeding, or otherwise causes concern. The body performs its part, and you perform yours. A small wound offers a powerful lesson. Healing is not always something you force. Often, it is something you support. You create favorable conditions and allow biological processes to unfold at their own pace. You rest when rest is needed. You nourish yourself where possible. You follow appropriate medical guidance. You stop insulting the body for needing time. None of this guarantees a perfect result, because healing is influenced by many factors, including health conditions, age, circulation, nutrition, medications, infection, and the nature of the injury. But kindness changes the relationship you bring to the process. I do not demand that my body prove its worth through instant recovery. I offer it patience, practical care, and respect. Let us look gently at the 4 overlapping rhythms commonly used to describe the healing of a wound. The first is protection, often called hemostasis. It begins soon after an injury as the body works to reduce bleeding. Blood vessels in the area constrict, platelets gather, and fibrin helps stabilize a temporary clot. You might think of this as the body creating an emergency covering while the deeper work is being organized. It is not the complete healing, but it creates an essential beginning. In emotional life, we sometimes judge beginnings because they appear incomplete. Yet the first protective response does not need to finish the whole process. It simply needs to do what belongs to that stage. I allow beginnings to be beginnings. I do not demand a finished result from the first step. The second rhythm is inflammation, a word many people automatically associate with something harmful. Excessive or prolonged inflammation can indeed be connected with health problems, but in a fresh wound, a controlled inflammatory response is part of normal repair. Immune cells enter the area to help remove damaged material and respond to possible microbes. The region may become warm, red, tender, or swollen as this activity takes place. These signs should still be observed carefully because worsening pain, spreading redness, pus, fever, or other concerning changes may require medical evaluation. The important point is that not every uncomfortable stage means the body is failing. Sometimes discomfort accompanies necessary protective work. I listen carefully to my body without automatically interpreting every sensation as betrayal. After this cleaning and protective activity, the body moves further into the building phase, often called proliferation. Cells at the surface migrate to help cover the wound. Fibroblasts produce collagen and other components that form new supporting tissue. Tiny blood vessels may develop within the healing area to help deliver oxygen and nutrients. The wound begins to fill and close, but the new tissue is still developing. It may look different from the surrounding skin, and it does not yet possess its final strength. This reminds us that visible improvement is not always the end of healing. A surface may appear closed while important work continues underneath. I honor the progress I can see and the progress that is still occurring quietly. The fourth rhythm is remodeling or maturation. During this stage, collagen is reorganized and the new tissue gradually becomes stronger and more stable. This can continue for months, depending on the wound and the person. Even after healing, scar tissue generally does not become identical to the original uninjured tissue. The body repairs with the materials and conditions available to it. It does not promise to erase every sign that something happened. A scar is not evidence that the body failed. It can be evidence that the body closed, strengthened, and adapted after injury. Healing does not always mean returning to the exact person or body you were before. It may mean becoming stable in a new and honest form. These phases do not always occur as four perfectly separate events. They overlap, communicate, and influence one another. Healing is a coordinated process rather than a rigid checklist. The same is true of many forms of recovery. You may be protecting one part of your life, clearing another, rebuilding another, and strengthening something else, all at once. Do not criticize yourself because your progress refuses to follow a neat sequence. Life is often more complex than the diagrams we use to explain it. What matters is learning how to cooperate with the stage you are actually in. Cooperation begins with listening. Instead of looking at your body only to find what is wrong, become curious about what it is communicating. Fatigue may be inviting you to examine sleep, stress, illness, nutrition, medication, workload, or another cause with appropriate support. Tension may remind you that you have been holding one position too long or carrying emotional pressure without pause. Pain is information that deserves attention, not a moral failure and not something that should automatically be ignored. You do not have to diagnose every signal by yourself. Listening may lead you to rest, adjust your routine, or consult a qualified professional. My body's signals are invitations to care, not reasons to criticize myself. Create conditions that support your overall well-being. Protect your sleep as much as your circumstances allow. Eat and drink in ways that meet your individual needs, especially when a health condition requires professional guidance. Move in ways appropriate for your body and current capacity. follow treatment plans, take medications as directed, attend appointments, and ask questions when you do not understand something. Rest is not laziness when rest is part of care. Activity is not punishment when movement is chosen to support strength, mobility, circulation, or enjoyment. The loving question is not, how can I force this body to obey? It is, what kind of support is appropriate now? Patience is also part of cooperation. Bodies differ, conditions differ, and recovery does not occur according to comparison. Another person may heal faster from a similar injury, respond differently to treatment, or regain energy sooner. Their pace is not a judgment against your body. Avoid using someone else's recovery as a deadline. Ask what your body needs within the reality you are living. There may be days of visible progress and days when the wisest action is simply to continue the care already in place. I release the demand that my body follow another person's schedule. Your words can accompany this process without becoming magical commands. Cells do not understand sentences in the way a person does, but the way you speak to yourself can influence whether you approach your body with fear, hostility, avoidance, or care. A loving inner voice may help you make calmer and more supportive choices. It may remind you to attend an appointment, eat, sleep, ask for help, or stop using shame as motivation. Speak not to control biology, but to end the war within yourself. Say, "Dear body, I am listening. I will not call you a failure because you need care. I am willing to work with you, seek appropriate support, and respect the time recovery requires." Place one hand gently over your heart or another comfortable area and notice the life already present. Do not order the body to become perfect. Offer companionship instead. I bless every part of my body with love. I appreciate the work taking place within me, both known and unknown. I support my health through wise choices, adequate care, and compassionate attention. I am patient with the rhythms of recovery. My body is not my opponent. We are learning to live as trusted partners, one loving step at a time. Let me share something gentle and important with you. Speaking lovingly to your body is not about commanding it to become perfect. It is about changing the relationship you have with the body that has carried you through every chapter of your life. Many people notice their bodies only when something feels uncomfortable, looks different from an ideal, or refuses to perform at the pace they demand. They stand before the mirror and search for evidence that something is wrong. They speak to themselves with words they would never use toward a person they loved. Over time, the body becomes experienced as a problem to manage rather than a living companion to appreciate. Today, I want to invite you into another way. Your body deserves to be spoken to as something precious, not treated as an object that must earn your approval. When you speak to your body with love, the inner relationship can begin to feel safer. This does not mean that every physical sensation changes because you repeat a beautiful sentence. It means that you stop adding hostility to an experience that may already be difficult. Instead of waking and immediately criticizing your face, weight, energy, or pain, you acknowledge that a living body is present with you. Instead of saying, "Why are you doing this to me?" you ask, "What support might be helpful here?" The change may appear small, but it affects the position from which you make decisions. Fear often demands, avoids, or punishes. Love listens, gathers information, and responds. I am willing to stop treating my body as an enemy and begin relating to it as a trusted partner. Your words influence the choices that follow them. When you continually tell yourself that your body is useless, unattractive, or disappointing, caring for it may begin to feel like an obligation performed for something you dislike. When you speak with appreciation, care becomes a natural expression of respect. You may notice fatigue and rest before you are completely depleted. You may prepare nourishing food because the body deserves support, not because you are trying to punish it into changing. You may move in a way that builds strength, mobility, or pleasure rather than exercising from hatred. You may recognize that a symptom deserves attention and seek help instead of ignoring it because you are frightened. Loving language does not make every health decision easy, but it can help you approach those decisions without turning against yourself. Affirmations are not a substitute for diagnosis, medication, treatment, rehabilitation, or professional guidance. They cannot promise a cure, and they do not place responsibility for illness upon the person who is ill. Bodies are affected by genetics, infections, injuries, environment, aging, healthcare access, living conditions, and many other factors. You did not create every physical difficulty by having an unhappy thought. Healing language is best understood as emotional support, a way of reducing the inner conflict that can accompany health concerns and encouraging practical care. You can speak lovingly to your body while taking prescribed medicine. You can repeat an affirmation while sitting in a doctor's office. You can trust life and still ask questions, request another opinion, or follow a treatment plan. Receiving appropriate medical support is not a failure of faith. It can be a profound act of self-love. So what does it mean to speak healing energy into the body? It means offering words that carry gratitude, permission, calm, and cooperation. The energy is not a magical force that allows you to control individual cells with language. It is the quality of awareness you bring to yourself. Words can remind you to soften your breathing, stop frightening yourself, listen to your needs, and choose supportive action. Begin by addressing the body as a whole. Dear body, thank you for carrying me. Thank you for remaining with me through every change. I send love to every part of you, including the parts I am still learning to understand. I allow you to rest, renew, and seek balance in the ways available to you. You do not have to feel immediate emotion. Willingness is enough. You can then speak gently to individual areas of the body. Place your hand over your chest if that feels comfortable and say, "Dear heart, I send you tenderness. Thank you for your faithful rhythm and for carrying life through me." Let this be gratitude, not an instruction that the heart must behave in a particular way. If you have heart-related symptoms or concerns, loving your heart includes receiving appropriate medical evaluation. Move your attention to your legs and feet and say, "Thank you for every step you have taken, every place you have carried me, and every time you have helped me stand." If walking is difficult or impossible, you can honor whatever movement, sensation, or support is present without forcing gratitude for pain. Bring awareness to your shoulders and neck. Many people tighten these areas while concentrating, worrying, or preparing for conflict. Instead of accusing yourself of being tense, offer an invitation. My shoulders are allowed to soften. My neck is allowed to release what it can. I do not need to hold the whole world in this moment. You are not demanding relaxation. You are creating permission for whatever small amount of ease is available. Then notice your breathing and say, I appreciate every breath that nourishes me. I make room for the next breath without forcing it. If deep breathing feels uncomfortable, allow the breath to remain natural. Loving practice adapts to the body rather than asking the body to conform to the practice. When a particular area needs more care, avoid language that makes it responsible for your fear. You might say, "I notice that you need attention and I am listening. I will not blame you for asking me to slow down, seek information, or make a change." If discomfort is persistent, severe, unusual, or worrying, listening may mean contacting an appropriate healthcare professional. Patience does not mean postponing necessary care. It means refusing to insult yourself while finding out what is needed. Say, "I am patient with this process. I am willing to receive every appropriate form of support. I do not have to face this alone." Such words remind you that receiving help belongs within healing, not outside it. Use language that your mind can accept. If saying "I love every part of my body" creates immediate resistance, do not force it. Begin with, "I am willing to love my body." Willingness creates a doorway without demanding that you cross the entire distance at once. You can say, "I choose thoughts that support my well-being. I am learning to care for myself with greater patience. I now allow peace to move through my awareness. Life supports me in many visible and invisible ways." These statements do not require you to deny a diagnosis or pretend that pain is absent. They help you meet reality from a more compassionate inner position. A believable sentence repeated gently is often more useful than a grand statement that makes your whole body tighten in protest. A healing statement has 3 layers. The first is gratitude. Begin by noticing what the body is already doing rather than beginning with everything you wish to change. Thank your eyes for any way they help you perceive the world. Thank your hands for holding, preparing, touching, typing, or creating. Thank your digestive system for processing nourishment as well as it can. Thank your skin for forming a boundary between your inner body and the environment. Gratitude does not mean that every function is perfect. It means you acknowledge life before discussing improvement. I recognize what is working, what is trying, and what continues to support me today. The second layer is permission. Many people approach healing with commands. You must recover quickly. You must stop hurting. You must not inconvenience me. This pressure can make the body feel like another area in which you are failing. Replace commands with spacious phrases such as "I am willing," "I allow," and "I am learning." Say, "I allow my body to move at its appropriate pace. I am willing to receive information without panic. I am learning to respond to my needs before they become emergencies." Permission does not guarantee an outcome, but it changes the emotional environment in which you meet the process. You are no longer standing over yourself with a stopwatch. You are walking beside yourself. The third layer is action. An affirmation becomes more meaningful when it is followed by a choice that reflects its message. If you say, "I care for my body," drink some water if hydration is appropriate for you. If you say, "My need for rest matters," protect a reasonable bedtime or take a restorative pause. If you say, "I listen to my body," schedule the examination you have been postponing. If you say, "I welcome support," answer the helpful message. Speak honestly with someone you trust or follow the care plan provided to you. The action does not need to be dramatic. It needs to agree with the love you have spoken. My words give direction, and my actions show my body that I mean what I say. There are many natural moments in which you can practice this new language. The first is upon waking, before the mind begins listing every concern. Place a hand over your heart or another comfortable area and greet your body as you would greet someone you are glad to see. Say, "Good morning, dear body. Thank you for bringing me into a new day. Today I will listen more carefully and treat you with respect." Notice how different this feels from immediately checking the mirror for flaws. You are beginning with relationship rather than evaluation. Even if you wake tired or uncomfortable, you can say, "I see that this morning is difficult, and I will not make it harder by criticizing you." Before sleep is another beautiful time. The working day is ending, and the body no longer needs to perform for anyone. Let your shoulders settle into the bed. Thank your feet for every step, your hands for every task, and your mind for every decision it attempted to make. You might say, "Dear body, you have done enough for today. I release the expectation that you must solve everything tonight. I allow rest to be the work of this moment." Do not turn the affirmation into another assignment that must produce perfect sleep. If sleep does not come immediately, rest is still valuable. The purpose is to end the day without carrying criticism into the quiet. Speak lovingly while performing ordinary acts of care. While bathing, appreciate the body rather than inspecting it. Let the water become a reminder that you are worthy of comfort and cleanliness now, not after you change. While applying lotion or caring for your skin, use touch that communicates gentleness rather than correction. While walking, thank the body for whatever movement is available. While preparing food, say, "I choose nourishment because this life within me matters." These are moments in which self-love becomes physical and practical. You are not waiting for a special ceremony. You are making everyday care the ceremony. When stress appears, pause before pushing forward automatically. Notice the jaw, hands, shoulders, abdomen, and breathing without deciding that tension means something is wrong with you. Say, "In this moment, I am here. I do not need to solve everything in one breath. I give my body permission to soften wherever it can." Then make one useful adjustment. Step away from the screen, change your position, drink water, ask for clarification, or take a brief walk if possible. A loving sentence followed by a supportive action interrupts the habit of demanding more from an already strained system. Before medical care, speak to the frightened part of yourself. You might say, "It is safe for me to ask questions. I am worthy of clear information and respectful care. I welcome skilled support." Write down your concerns so you do not have to remember everything while anxious. Bring a trusted person if that is appropriate and helpful. After the appointment, thank yourself for attending. You do not have to feel brave in order to act lovingly. Courage may simply be showing up while fear is present. I honor my body by allowing qualified people to help me care for it. How long should you practice? 3 to 5 minutes can be enough when you are genuinely present. A brief, loving encounter is more valuable than a long recitation performed with tension. You might practice once after waking and once before sleep, then add 1 minute in the middle of the day when you need to return to yourself. Do not measure success by whether you immediately feel wonderful. Notice quieter changes. Are you catching harsh thoughts sooner? Are you resting before complete exhaustion? Are you more willing to seek care? Are you relating to the body with less shame? These are meaningful signs of a changing relationship. You may choose to practice for 21 days, not because 21 days guarantees a biological transformation, but because repetition helps a new language become more familiar. Each morning and evening, choose 2 or 3 statements rather than overwhelming yourself with a long list. Let the statements change according to the day. On a tired day, emphasize rest. Before an appointment, emphasize support and courage. During recovery, emphasize patience. When you feel well, emphasize gratitude and enjoyment. At the end of 21 days, keep what feels natural and release what feels forced. Affirmations are here to serve your well-being. Your well-being is not here to serve an affirmation routine. Now let us complete a simple 5-minute body blessing together. During the first minute, place one hand over your heart or abdomen and feel the contact. Let the breath remain comfortable. Notice the surface beneath you and acknowledge that your body is supporting you in this position. Say, I am present. I am listening. I do not need to rush away from myself. If thoughts appear, allow them to pass without following each one. This minute is not about achieving perfect silence. It is about giving your body undivided attention. During the second minute, name 3 parts of your body for which you feel sincere gratitude. Choose whatever feels natural. You might thank your eyes, hands, feet, heart, skin, ears, or voice. Be specific. Thank you, hands, for preparing my meals. Thank you, eyes, for helping me recognize the faces I love. Thank you, feet, for keeping contact with the ground. If gratitude feels difficult, use appreciation. I acknowledge the work you are doing. There is no test to pass. Honest attention is enough. During the third minute, imagine a gentle warmth moving from your head toward your feet. You do not need to see a bright light or create a dramatic sensation. Let warmth be a symbol of kindness. Allow it to touch the face, neck, shoulders, chest, abdomen, arms, hands, hips, legs, and feet. If you encounter an area of discomfort, do not force the warmth to remove it. Simply say, you are included in my love. You do not have to be painless or perfect to belong. During the fourth minute, choose 3 affirmations that meet your real needs. You may say, I am willing to love my body. I choose thoughts and actions that support my well-being. I now allow peace to move through me. Or choose, I listen without fear. I accept appropriate support. I am patient with my process. Speak slowly enough to hear yourself. Let each sentence become an invitation rather than a command. During the 5th minute, ask, Dear body, what do you need from me today? Wait, without forcing an answer. You may notice a need for water, food, movement, warmth, rest, medical attention, quiet, or gentler self-talk. Choose one response you can realistically provide and follow through during the day. End by saying, Thank you for speaking to me. I am learning to listen. We are on the same side. This is how healing language becomes a living relationship. Gratitude opens the conversation, permission creates safety, and loving action completes the message. What if life is not asking you to see the entire road, but only to take the next honest step. So many people remain at the edge of a new beginning because they want certainty before they move. They want to know that the relationship will last, the work will succeed, the decision will be correct, and no painful surprise will appear. The mind says, "Show me the whole journey, and then I will begin." But life often answers, "Begin, and the journey will reveal itself." You may receive only one ordinary instruction. Open the letter, return the call, attend the meeting, complete the page, or speak to the person. These actions may seem too small to change a life, yet a life is changed through the accumulation of small responses. The next chapter may be waiting behind something you have postponed because it did not look important enough. You do not need to understand step 10 while you are standing before step 1. Trying to solve the entire future can become a sophisticated form of avoidance. The mind stays busy planning, predicting, and protecting while the opportunity in the present remains untouched. I do not need to know the whole road. I trust myself to take the wisest step available to me now. Saying yes to life begins with noticing how often you have been living from an automatic no. After disappointment, the heart naturally becomes cautious. You may tell yourself that you no longer trust anyone, try anything uncertain, accept help, or allow hope to become too strong. This defensive position may once have protected you. It reduced exposure to rejection and gave you a sense of control. But a protection that never relaxes eventually becomes a prison. If you refuse every new possibility because something old caused pain, the past continues making decisions long after the original event has ended. You do not need to throw away discernment or become recklessly trusting. You only need to consider that the future is not required to repeat everything you have already known. Begin softly. I am willing to believe that life still contains good experiences for me. Willingness is enough. You do not have to manufacture absolute faith. You do not have to call every person trustworthy or every opportunity divinely appointed. You are simply leaving a small opening through which new information can enter. To say yes to life is to say yes to possibility, not to command a particular outcome. You may set a direction while allowing the route to change. You may commit to meaningful work while discovering that the role you first imagined is not the one that best uses your gifts. You may open yourself to love without insisting that one particular person must become capable of loving you. You may pursue greater well-being while listening to your body, qualified professionals, and the realities of your circumstances. A flexible plan is not a weak plan. It is a plan capable of learning. I say yes to what is good, and I allow life to use paths my present mind cannot yet see. This yes must always include wisdom. Saying yes to life does not mean saying yes to every request, invitation, relationship, or demand. You are not required to accept disrespect in order to appear loving. You do not have to overwork because someone calls exploitation an opportunity. You need not remain in a harmful environment because leaving feels like failure. Sometimes the greatest yes to yourself is a clear no to what damages you. No, I will not continue this conversation while being insulted. No, I will not abandon my health to prove my commitment. No, I will not accept affection that appears only when it is convenient. No, I will not betray my values because I am afraid another opportunity may never come. A healthy yes and a healthy no serve the same purpose. They protect your participation in a life that honors your whole being. Discernment asks, Does this invitation expand my ability to live truthfully, or does it require me to disappear? Do not say yes from the fear of missing out. Say yes from alignment. A hurried yes creates obligations the heart may later resent. A conscious yes contains attention, responsibility, and the willingness to follow through. Large achievements often begin through very ordinary actions. The letter you are avoiding may contain information you need. The call you hesitate to return may begin a valuable conversation. The imperfect manuscript you finally send may become the work that reaches another person. The promise you keep today may begin rebuilding trust in yourself. We often expect guidance to arrive with great drama. Yet guidance may appear as the quiet knowledge that it is time to complete what is already in front of you. You ask life for a new opportunity while ignoring the application on your desk. You ask for clarity while avoiding the conversation that would provide information. You ask to become confident while refusing every action through which confidence could be practiced. Life rarely hands you the entire map. More often, it gives you enough light for the ground beneath your feet. Procrastination is not always laziness. Sometimes it is the demand for a guarantee. You may be waiting to know that the effort will succeed before you offer the effort. You want protection from embarrassment, wasted time, or disappointment. Yet experience cannot be replaced by prediction. There are things you will understand only after participation. Change the question. Instead of asking, "What if I fail?" ask, "What can I learn by trying?" Instead of, "What if they reject me?" ask, "What will I know about my courage after I speak?" Instead of, "What if this is not the perfect path?" ask, "Will this step provide information that helps me recognize a better one?" An action can be valuable even when it does not produce the hoped-for result. It may expose a missing skill, reveal a mismatch, strengthen your voice, or redirect your attention. This does not require you to romanticize every disappointment. It means a result can inform you without defining you. I do not wait for confidence before I begin. I allow responsible action to create confidence within me. Use a simple practice. One task, your whole attention, and then release the result. Choose one important task. Not 12, not the entire future. Choose the call, paragraph, appointment, application, conversation, or decision that genuinely belongs to today. Remove what distractions you can. Give the task your full presence for a realistic period of time. Complete it to the best of your current ability. This does not mean obsessing until it is flawless. It means offering honest quality with the knowledge, energy, and resources available now. If revision is needed later, you can revise. If new information appears, you can adjust. Once you have done your part, release the need to control every response. You can prepare carefully, but you cannot command approval. You can speak sincerely, but you cannot force understanding. You can offer value, but you cannot guarantee who will recognize it or when. Focus creates quality. Release preserves peace. This is how you begin cooperating with life. You take responsibility for the action while allowing reality to answer. You remain attentive to feedback without turning it into a verdict on your worth. If the door opens, you walk through with gratitude and awareness. If it remains closed, you gather the information and look for the next honest step. Do not wait for a dramatic sign while neglecting the ordinary invitation. Today, Open what needs to be opened. Answer what needs a response. Finish what is ready to be finished. Let one action tell life that you are available to participate. Today, I say yes to the step before me. I give it my attention, my care, and my willingness. I release the demand to see every outcome in advance. Life meets me as I move, and the next step becomes clear at the right time. Once you have taken the step that belongs to you, something very beautiful becomes possible. Life can begin participating in ways you could not have organized by yourself. This is not because you have surrendered responsibility. It is because you have stopped trying to perform your responsibility and life's responsibility at the same time. Your part is to prepare, to create, to communicate, to learn, and to respond to what reality shows you. Your part is to knock on the door, send the work, make the call, and develop the capacity to walk through an opportunity when it appears. But you cannot manufacture every connection, control another person's response, or predict the route through which one action may travel. This is what I mean when I speak about flow. Flow is not lying down and expecting a miracle to complete the work you are avoiding. It is cooperation between effort and receptivity. You work without trying to force every consequence. You offer value and then listen to the response. You remain flexible enough to adjust. When a door opens, you do not stand outside asking for 10 more signs. You step through with awareness. I act without forcing. I receive without becoming passive. Sometimes people say they trust life when they are actually afraid to act. They wait for certainty, a perfect emotional state, or an unmistakable sign. But life may already be speaking through the ordinary task in front of them. Trust is not demonstrated only by waiting. Trust can be demonstrated by beginning before you know exactly where the beginning will lead. At other times, people act constantly but leave no room to receive. They are so attached to one result that they cannot recognize useful feedback. Every redirection feels like rejection. Every delay becomes proof that life is against them. They keep pushing upon the same locked door because changing direction would feel like admitting defeat. There is a loving middle place. You prepare thoroughly, take responsible action, and remain curious about what happens next. You do not surrender your values, but you allow the plan to evolve. An opportunity may begin with a conversation you almost declined. A rejection may reveal that the environment you wanted would never have honored your gifts. A skill you considered secondary may become the foundation of meaningful work. Someone may share your idea with a person you have never met. A difficulty may expose a need that you are uniquely capable of helping to address. If you have already decided that goodness must arrive through one person, one title, one company, or one exact timeline, you may overlook the answer because it does not resemble your request. Be clear about the quality you desire and flexible about the package. If you desire meaningful work, remain clear about purpose, dignity, and fair compensation while exploring roles you may not have known existed. If you desire love, remain clear about honesty and mutual care without requiring an unavailable person to become the only source. If you desire prosperity, remain open to new skills, collaborations, and forms of contribution rather than demanding that one route carry your entire future. I welcome the essence of what I desire, and I give life room to surprise me with its form. When something you create is genuinely useful, it can sometimes travel beyond your original plan. One person tells another, a message reaches someone who needs it. A piece of work continues helping people after you have finished producing it. This kind of natural expansion is lovely, but do not confuse it with a reason to neglect quality, communication, or strategy. Create something worth sharing. Make it clear enough to be understood and useful enough to be remembered. Then help it reach the people who may benefit. Learn how to communicate its value. Ask for feedback. Improve what needs improvement. Let inspiration and practical skill work together. There is no conflict between trusting life and learning how the world functions. You may believe in the value of your work and still need to understand your audience, improve your craft, meet deadlines, communicate consistently, and make wise decisions. Strategy is not a lack of faith. It is one way of honoring what has been entrusted to you. Yet I encourage you to ask a question deeper than, how much can I earn? Ask, what problem does this work help solve? Who becomes stronger, clearer, healthier, more informed, or more hopeful because this exists? How can my abilities serve life? Money matters. It provides shelter, food, care, education, choice, and the resources required to continue meaningful work. There is nothing spiritually superior about being unable to sustain yourself. But if money is the only question, you may create things that receive attention without nourishing anyone, including you. When usefulness leads, value becomes more durable. You begin listening to actual needs. You improve because you care about the effect of your contribution. You are no longer chasing every trend, reward, or comparison. You are building a body of work that reflects who you are and what you can honestly offer. I work to create real value, and I allow myself to receive fair compensation for that value. Service does not mean working until you are depleted. It does not mean giving away everything because you are afraid people will call you selfish. If your work cannot support your basic life, resentment and exhaustion may eventually contaminate the very service you wanted to offer. You are permitted to establish a fair price. You are allowed to protect time for rest, family, learning, and health. You can offer generosity without making unlimited access the condition of being a good person. Sustainable service allows you to continue contributing without turning your body into the cost of your mission. Meaningful work often appears where three things meet: something you can do well, something you are willing to keep learning, and something that creates genuine benefit for others. You do not need to be the best in the world. You need enough ability to contribute, enough curiosity to grow, and enough usefulness for the work to matter beyond your own image. Your purpose may not arrive as a dramatic voice announcing one grand destiny. It may reveal itself through the tasks you repeatedly perform with care. You notice which problems hold your attention. You see where others naturally seek your help. You discover which effort leaves you tired but deeply satisfied rather than emptied and resentful. Sometimes purpose is found by serving today with sincerity rather than waiting for a magnificent future identity. Of course, not every step produces the result you hoped for. Life contains closed doors, disappointments, endings, and experiences that feel like gifts wrapped in rough paper. I use this image carefully because I do not want you to believe that every painful event was secretly sent to reward you. Some events arise from human limitation, poor decisions, injustice, biology, circumstance, or simple uncertainty. You do not have to call pain good in order to create goodness after it. A job loss can be frightening and destabilizing. It may also reveal that you need new skills, a different environment, or more than one source of security. A breakup can break your heart while exposing the places where you repeatedly abandoned yourself to preserve attachment. A failed project can bring disappointment and still show you that the system, timing, collaboration, or method needs to change. The lesson does not cancel the loss. It gives you something to carry forward besides the wound. Do not hurry yourself into gratitude. Grief has its own intelligence. When something meaningful ends, you may need to cry, rest, speak with someone trustworthy, or admit that you do not yet see the benefit. Positive thinking should never become a demand that you smile while your heart is still trying to understand what happened. Say, "This has hurt me, and I am allowed to acknowledge that. I do not yet know what it will mean. I trust that I can eventually decide what grows from here. I do not deny what caused me pain. I refuse to let it become the final chapter of my life." When you are ready, change the questions. Why did this happen to me? May be an honest expression of grief, but it cannot always guide the next step. Begin asking, what has this revealed? Which truth can I no longer avoid? What no longer fits the person I am becoming? What can I create from the reality that now exists? These questions return movement to the places where helplessness has settled. They do not suggest that you caused your misfortune or failed to maintain the correct thoughts. They remind you that even when you did not choose the event, you can participate in what happens afterward. You are not responsible for every storm. You are responsible for finding the wisest way to care for yourself once you are standing in the rain. And please remember that the body is where you experience this entire life. Your body is not an enemy, an embarrassing project, or a machine whose value depends upon appearance and performance. It has carried you through joy, grief, work, illness, love, fatigue, learning, and change. Your body may not look as it did years ago. It may contain wrinkles, scars, weight changes, disability, pain, or limitations you did not choose. None of these removes your dignity. A changing body is not a failed body. It is a living body, moving through time and circumstance. If you have spent years criticizing your appearance, you may not be able to leap immediately into loving every feature. Do not force a declaration that the mind experiences as false. Begin with a ceasefire. I do not have to love every feature today. I am willing to stop speaking cruelly to my body. Notice how you address yourself in the mirror. Would you speak that way to a child or someone recovering from difficulty? Cruelty does not create reliable care. Shame may produce a short burst of action, but it often makes the relationship with the body more hostile. Let body love become practical. Rest when fatigue signals the need for recovery. Eat with attention rather than using food as punishment or moral judgment. Move in ways appropriate to your present ability. Seek medical assessment when symptoms appear and follow qualified guidance. Wear clothing that allows you to inhabit your current body with comfort and self-respect rather than waiting for a future body before participating in life. Loving thoughts can support healing by reducing shame and encouraging care, but they do not replace medical treatment. We should not reduce every illness to an emotion or imply that someone is sick because they failed to think positively. Bodies are influenced by genetics, infection, injury, environment, aging, access to care, behavior, and many interacting factors. When I describe the body as a receiver, understand it as a metaphor. The body and mind continually influence one another, but no single emotional formula explains every disease. A rested and cared for body often gives you more energy to recognize opportunities, connect with people, solve problems, and create. That is one practical way self-love supports prosperity. It increases your capacity to be present and participate. Now I want to offer you 7 forms of yes, 7 openings through which your life can begin moving again. First, say yes to the present. I stop waiting for a perfect day before I begin to live. This day may contain unfinished problems, but it also contains the only moment in which you can love, choose, act, and notice beauty. Do not make the present merely a hallway leading to some future room. Second, say yes to yourself. I honor my feelings, my needs, and the quiet voice within me. This does not mean every feeling becomes a command. It means no feeling must be shamed before it can be understood. Your needs deserve consideration alongside the needs of others. Third, say yes to change. I am willing to learn a new way of living, even while it feels unfamiliar. Familiarity is not always safety, and discomfort is not always danger. Let yourself become a beginner. Fourth, say yes to support. I do not have to prove my strength by doing everything alone. Receive appropriate help, useful knowledge, honest feedback, and care from trustworthy people. Support does not make you less capable. It can help your capability grow. Fifth, say yes to joy. I am allowed to experience joy while life still contains unresolved matters. You do not have to finish every responsibility before you laugh, rest, celebrate, or enjoy something beautiful. Joy is not disrespectful to your difficulties. It gives you strength to meet them. Sixth, say yes to prosperity. I welcome forms of exchange that are fair, healthy, and expansive. Allow yourself to create value, receive compensation, manage resources, and enjoy what money appropriately supports. Prosperity is not only accumulation. It includes time, ideas, relationships, health-supporting choices, and the ability to contribute. Seventh, say yes to the unknown. I am safe enough to begin a new chapter without possessing every answer. You do not need certainty. You need awareness, preparation, and the willingness to adjust. Before saying yes to a new opportunity, however, use 3 questions as a filter. First, ask what happens in your body. Do you feel a sense of expansion, curiosity, and energy? Or do you contract into dread and alarm? Do not treat sensation as an infallible prophecy. A healthy opportunity can create fear because it is unfamiliar. An unhealthy opportunity can feel exciting because it resembles old chaos. Pause long enough to distinguish growth-related nervousness from a warning about genuine danger, exploitation, or misalignment. Examine the facts. Give yourself time. Seek informed advice when needed. Second, ask whether the opportunity honors your values or merely excites the ego. Does it respect your health, time, relationships, and dignity? Or are you drawn to it mainly because it would make you look successful, chosen, superior, or impossible to criticize? There is nothing wrong with enjoying recognition. But recognition cannot compensate for continual self-betrayal. An impressive opportunity may still be unsuitable if its hidden price is your integrity. Third, ask whether this yes expands you or abandons you. A healthy opportunity may stretch your ability and require courage. It may ask you to study, practice, speak publicly, take responsibility, or tolerate uncertainty. But it should not require you to violate your essential values or remain in conditions that repeatedly harm you. I do not say yes because I fear missing out. I say yes because I recognize alignment. Try living one full day as a conscious yes to life. In the morning, place a hand over your heart, not as a requirement, but as a simple reminder that you are present. Say, "Life loves me. Today I am willing to recognize one opportunity, one lesson, and one moment of joy." Then choose 3 small yeses. Say yes to one necessary task you have postponed. Say yes to one act of care for your body. Say yes to one moment of genuine connection, creativity, or play. These do not need to be dramatic. Open the email, make the appointment, drink water, step outside, draw for 10 minutes. Listen to someone without looking at your phone. Let yourself enjoy a song. Life is not made only of major turning points. It is made of moments in which you become available. At night, write 3 lines. Where did life support me today? When did I allow myself to open? What next step is quietly calling me tomorrow? Do not search only for enormous miracles. Support may have appeared as useful information, a small kindness, a delay that gave you time, an idea that solved part of a problem, or a moment when you responded with more patience than before. Sometimes life will answer not now. Sometimes it will answer no. Do not turn either response into a judgment of your worth. Not now may invite further preparation, but do not assume that every delay is a sacred test requiring endless waiting. A clear no may redirect you from a path that cannot hold you. It may also simply reflect another person's choice, limited resources, timing, or incompatibility. Receive the information without inventing a cruel identity around it. Mature trust knows when to continue and when to adjust. It does not stand forever before a firmly closed door, repeating affirmations while ignoring reality. It turns back toward life and asks, what remains possible? Which door is open enough for a responsible next step? A closed door is not the end of goodness. I return to life and become available for another way. Life begins responding differently when you begin participating differently. You do not need to eliminate fear before saying yes. Let curiosity become slightly larger than fear. Let self-love become slightly stronger than the old defense. Let one honest action become more important than another hour of imagining every outcome. Do the work in front of you. Serve through the abilities you have while continuing to learn. Receive support without surrendering discernment. Keep your plans structured enough to guide you and flexible enough to be improved by experience. Every wise yes is a vote for the person you are becoming. Every honest no protects that person's life. Together, they form a conversation between you and the world, a conversation in which you are no longer hiding, forcing, or waiting for complete certainty. Say now, I say yes to life as it is meeting me today. I say yes to the next wise action, to meaningful service, to fair exchange, to loving care for my body, and to support that honors my freedom. I welcome joy without waiting for perfection. I accept redirection without calling myself a failure. I allow the unknown to contain possibilities I cannot yet name. I participate with courage, listen with discernment, and release what I cannot control. Life is for me. Life moves through me, and I am willing to move with life. Before we close, I want to thank you for sharing this beautiful moment with me. Thank you for listening with an open heart. Thank you for being willing to question an old fear, welcome a new possibility, and say yes to the life that is already moving within you. Please do not leave these words here. Carry one gentle yes into the rest of your day. Say yes to your body when it asks for care. Say yes to your heart when it asks for honesty. Say yes to the opportunity that feels aligned. And give yourself permission to say no when something requires you to abandon your truth. You do not need to transform everything at once. One loving choice is enough for this moment. Life knows how to meet you at the next step. I bless the path before you. May your work be meaningful, your relationships be honest, your body be treated with tenderness, and your mind remain open to unexpected good. May you recognize the doors that are yours and peacefully release the ones that are not. Thank you for being here. Thank you for choosing yourself. And most of all, thank you for saying yes to life. I am willing to let life love me. I welcome the good. I trust the unfolding, and I joyfully say yes to the beautiful life within me. All is well. Hello, my beautiful souls. Today I want to sit beside the part of you that you usually push away, the jealous part, the angry part, the controlling part, the part that procrastinates, withdraws, overthinks, or expects everything to go wrong. Perhaps you have spent years trying to eliminate this part so you could finally become a good, peaceful, lovable person. Yet the more you reject it, the louder it may become, not because it wants to destroy you, but because it believes you still have not understood what it is trying to do. No part of me was born to ruin my life. Some parts are only protecting me with methods that no longer belong to who I am becoming. Healing does not begin with an inner purge. It begins with a conversation. It is the moment you stop shouting, go away, and quietly ask, why are you here? This question changes the atmosphere within you. You are no longer standing on one side of a battlefield fighting yourself. You become the compassionate adult who is willing to listen without surrendering leadership. Be careful with the labels you place upon yourself. When you say, I am selfish, I am lazy, or I am toxic, you turn one pattern into a definition of your whole being. The mind then begins searching for evidence that the sentence is true. Every mistake becomes proof. Every moment of resistance becomes another conviction. Shame says, this is what you are, and there is no safe place to go from here. Use more accurate language. Say, a part of me is afraid there will not be enough. Say, a part of me is resisting the beginning. Say, a part of me wants to regain control. This does not remove responsibility. If you have hurt someone, repair may still be needed. If a behavior is harmful, it must still change. But change no longer has to be powered by hatred. I may have acted in an unhealthy way, but I am not an irredeemable human being. Suppose you become controlling when uncertainty appears. Rather than declaring, I am a controlling person, try saying, a frightened part of me is trying to prevent a surprise. Notice how different this feels. Control is no longer your identity. It is a strategy. And a strategy can be examined, updated, and replaced. There may be many voices within you, but no single voice contains all of you. One part may be furious, another may be frightened, another may long for tenderness. Somewhere within is also a mature awareness capable of noticing them all. This awareness does not have to shout. It simply asks, which part is speaking now? When a strong reaction appears, pause and become curious. Ask, how old does this part feel? You may be an adult, yet the reaction may feel 5, 12, or 16 years old. Perhaps it is responding from a time when you had very little power. Then ask, what is it afraid will happen? It may fear humiliation, abandonment, failure, loss of control, or being invisible again. Observation creates a doorway where automatic reaction once had only a wall. You might say inwardly, I hear that you are afraid. You do not have to take over the whole system to get my attention. This is not childish fantasy. It is a practical change in how you relate to your emotional states. You are separating awareness from impulse, which gives the adult part of you time to choose. Every defense once had a reason for existing. The controlling part tries to prevent you from being surprised and hurt. It studies details, plans excessively, and becomes tense when another person behaves unpredictably. It may have formed during a time when uncertainty really did mean danger. Thank it for its intention, and then tell it the truth of the present. We can prepare without trying to command everyone. If something changes, I will listen, gather information, and respond. The procrastinating part may not be lazy at all. It may be protecting you from failure, judgment, or the shame of discovering that your first attempt is imperfect. It says, if we never begin, nobody can evaluate us. Tell it, I understand why starting feels dangerous. We are not completing the whole task today. We are working for 10 minutes, and mistakes are allowed to teach us. The people-pleasing part may believe that rejection means the loss of love itself. It says yes while your body says no. It studies everyone's mood and tries to prevent disappointment. Perhaps this strategy once helped you belong in an unpredictable environment. Now tell it, we can be loving without purchasing connection through self-abandonment. The angry part often appears when you feel powerless. It gives the body energy and says, something is wrong. Do not let this happen again. Anger is not evil. But when it is allowed to use any words and actions it wants, protection becomes destruction. Tell it, I will listen to what was crossed. We may speak, set a boundary, or leave, but we will not create a second wound while trying to defend the first one. Jealousy is another part many people hate. Yet jealousy may be pointing toward an unlived desire. Instead of asking, why am I such a terrible person? Ask, what does this person seem to possess that I have not permitted myself to want? Perhaps it is visibility, freedom, affection, creativity, or courage. Their life is not proof that yours is lacking forever. It may be information about a longing ready to receive attention. I do not have to resent another person's light in order to discover where my own life wants to expand. The inner critic may believe it is saving you from public humiliation. It attacks first so that another person's judgment will hurt less. It says, do not become too confident. Do not show your work. Find every flaw before anyone else can. Tell it, criticism is not the same as preparation. You may help me review the work, but you may not insult the person doing it. Then there is the cold or distant part. It once opened the heart and was not protected. Now it says, never need anyone. Never let them close enough to hurt us. Do not force this part into vulnerability. Trust grows through evidence. Say, we will open gradually. We will watch for consistency. We will leave when respect disappears. You no longer have to freeze the whole heart to keep it safe. Understanding the positive intention beneath a behavior does not make the behavior acceptable. Compassion is not permission. You can recognize that anger wants protection and still refuse verbal abuse. You can understand that people-pleasing wants belonging and still stop saying yes against your will. You can appreciate that procrastination wants safety and still begin the task. Use 4 movements. First, acknowledge the intention. I see that you are trying to protect me. Second, identify the fear. You believe this will lead to rejection. Third, set a limit. You may speak, but you may not send that message or harm this relationship. Finally, teach a new method. We will pause, ask directly, gather facts, and choose from self-respect. Let the conversation sound like this. I understand why you appeared. You helped me survive circumstances I did not yet know how to handle. But I am no longer willing to let fear decide how we live. You do not have to disappear, and you do not have to remain in charge. I am the loving adult here now. I will listen to your warning, check it against the present, and choose the response that protects us without abandoning our values. Your so-called worst parts may not need exile. They may need relief from jobs they were never meant to perform forever. The critic can become discernment. Anger can become courage. Jealousy can become direction. Control can become preparation. Sensitivity can become wisdom. The closed heart can learn protected openness. Every part of me is welcome to speak, but love now leads my life. I release shame, accept responsibility, and teach my old defenses a gentler way to protect me. Nothing within me is beyond understanding. Nothing within me is beyond healing. I am becoming whole by welcoming myself home. Let me share something with you that may change the way you understand healing. Unconditional acceptance does not mean unconditional surrender. Welcoming every part of yourself does not mean allowing every impulse to control your words, choices, relationships, or future. You can make room for anger without permitting cruelty. You can understand jealousy without allowing it to become resentment. You can comfort the part that fears abandonment without letting it chase someone who repeatedly withdraws love. Every part of me is welcome to speak, but not every part is qualified to lead. Imagine your inner world as a gathering of many different ages, needs, memories, and protective responses. One part is frightened, another is furious. One wants to hide, while another wants to control everything before anything can go wrong. One part may be deeply loving, and another may believe love is dangerous. Healing asks you to become the calm adult who coordinates this inner gathering. You do not silence anyone. You also do not hand the entire meeting to the loudest voice. When a difficult thought appears, do not immediately say, "Stop it, go away. I should not be thinking this." The thought may become louder because it believes its warning has been ignored. Instead, say, "I see you. I am willing to listen. You are allowed to feel this way. Then add the loving limit. You are not allowed to harm me or anyone else. Compassion gives the feeling a place. Responsibility gives the behavior a boundary. Perhaps an angry part wants to send a message filled with insults. You can say, "I understand that you feel disrespected. I will not dismiss what happened, but we are not sending this message while our body is in pain." Perhaps a desperate part wants to beg someone to stay. You can tell it, "I know separation feels terrifying. I will remain with you, but I will not trade our dignity for temporary closeness. This is not suppression." You are allowing the emotion while guiding its expression. Every wounded part needs to hear 4 things. First, it needs to be seen. I know you are here. A part that has spent years hidden beneath shame may expect you to turn away the moment it appears. Your steady attention is already a corrective experience. You are saying, "You do not have to create a crisis to make me notice you." Second, it needs to be understood. You had to do this because you believed it would protect me. The behavior may have been harmful, but the original purpose often involves safety, belonging, control, or relief. Understanding the purpose helps you replace the strategy without attacking the part that created it. Third, it needs reassurance. We are safer and more capable now than we were then. The protective part may not know that time has passed. It still reacts as though you are a child without a voice, resources, choices, or permission to leave. Show it the present. You can seek information now. You can ask for help. You can decline participation. You can survive someone's disappointment. Finally, it needs guidance. From now on, I will choose a different response. Reassurance without action may not be enough. The inner child must see the adult keeping promises. If you say that disrespect will no longer be tolerated, your behavior must eventually demonstrate this. If you promise not to abandon yourself, remain present when the feeling becomes inconvenient. You do not have to love every inner part immediately. Sometimes people turn self-love into another demand. I must love everything about myself right now, or I am failing at healing. This can become spiritual pressure placed upon a nervous system that is already overwhelmed. If you cannot love the jealous, controlling, or deeply ashamed part, begin by deciding not to keep hating it. Say, "I am willing to understand you." Willingness is spacious. It does not require an emotional performance. You may not feel warmth yet, but you have stopped the attack. From that neutral ground, curiosity can grow. I do not need to heal everything today. I only need to stop abandoning myself in this moment. Other people can sometimes help you discover the parts you have rejected. Someone's behavior activates you, and the intensity of your reaction may contain information about yourself. A person who speaks proudly about achievements may irritate the part of you that was taught never to seek recognition. Someone who says no easily may disturb you because you have not permitted yourself to set limits. A confident person may awaken the strength you learned to reduce so others would remain comfortable. A person who asks for attention may touch the need to be seen that you have labeled shameful within yourself. You may think, "I would never behave that way," but beneath the judgment may be a longing you have never allowed to speak. This does not mean you should imitate every behavior that activates you. It means the reaction may reveal something worthy of examination. What I judge intensely may sometimes point toward a part of myself that has been denied expression. Suppose someone is boastful. Your discomfort may correctly recognize arrogance or insensitivity, but it may also reveal that you cannot receive a compliment without diminishing yourself. Their extreme behavior does not need to become your model. It may simply invite you to develop a healthy capacity for recognition. I can acknowledge what I do well without believing I am above anyone. Suppose someone says no without offering a long explanation. You may call them selfish because your own no has been buried beneath years of people-pleasing. Again, their refusal may or may not be considerate. The mirror asks only, is there a respectful form of this quality that I need? I do not copy the behavior that disturbs me. I discover the healthy quality hidden beneath my reaction. Yet not everything you dislike in another person is a projection of something denied within you. Sometimes you are uncomfortable because the behavior is dishonest, disrespectful, unsafe, or opposed to your values. If someone manipulates, threatens, humiliates, or harms, you do not need to search endlessly for the same trait inside yourself. Self-reflection should never become self-blame for another person's choices. Ask two different questions. First, is this revealing a rejected part of me? Second, or is this an accurate warning that a boundary is needed? Sometimes both answers are true. A disrespectful person may awaken an old wound and also require greater distance. Wisdom helps me distinguish between a wound that needs compassion and a limit that needs protection. Turn judgment into curiosity. Instead of asking only, why is this person so terrible? Ask, why is my reaction so strong? Are you afraid that you secretly resemble them? Or do they freely express something you have forbidden in yourself? Which need remains unacknowledged? What value feels violated? What action would honor your present truth? You do not have to like everyone to learn from an encounter. Some people reveal qualities you wish to develop. Others clarify behaviors you will no longer accept. The mirror is useful when it increases awareness. It becomes harmful when it makes you responsible for every reflection. Now I want to guide you through a direct conversation with one of the parts you struggle to accept. Do not begin when your emotional intensity is at its highest. If the body is overwhelmed, first create steadiness. Place one hand upon your chest and the other upon your abdomen. Feel your feet making contact with the ground. Let the breath enter without force, and allow the exhalation to become slightly longer. Look around the room. Notice where you are. If you are physically safe, say, I am here. I am safe enough to look within. You are not promising that life will never be difficult. You are establishing that this moment of inner attention can occur without punishment. If you are in genuine danger, inner dialogue is not the first priority. Seek practical safety and appropriate assistance. Healing practices should support reality, not persuade you to remain where harm is occurring. When you feel sufficiently steady, name the part that is present. Use neutral language. Say, I notice that the controlling part is here. Or the jealous part is speaking. Perhaps a part of me wants to run away. Or the part that expects rejection is trying to protect me. Avoid calling it disgusting, pathetic, crazy, or toxic. An insult closes the door you are trying to open. Then ask rather than accuse. What are you trying to protect me from? Pause. The answer may come as words, a memory, a bodily sensation, or no clear response at all. Do not force it. Ask, what are you afraid would happen if you stopped doing this? The controlling part may say, we will be blindsided. The procrastinating part may say, we will fail publicly. The people-pleasing part may say, everyone will leave. Ask, when did you begin doing this job? You may remember a particular age or situation. Perhaps control began in a chaotic household. Perhaps self-criticism began when mistakes produced humiliation. Perhaps emotional distance began after vulnerability was used against you. You are not searching for a perfect historical explanation. You are helping the response recognize that it has a history. Ask, what do you need me to understand? Then ask the most surprising question, what do you truly want from me? Very often, the difficult part wants something loving. It wants safety, belonging, respect, success, relief, or protection. Its method may be outdated, but its deepest desire may not be your destruction at all. Listen quietly. You might discover the critic says, I want you to be prepared so no one humiliates you. The procrastinating part may say, I do not want you to try and discover that you are not good enough. The jealous part may say, I want you to stop ignoring your dreams. The cold part may say, I never want you to be hurt like that again. Now acknowledge the protective intention. Say, I understand that you control because you fear we will be hurt unexpectedly. Or, I understand that you delay because you believe an imperfect result will prove something terrible about us. Perhaps, I understand that you become angry because you refuse to let us be dismissed again. Acknowledgement is not approval of the old method. You are not saying that control, avoidance, cruelty, or manipulation is acceptable. You are saying that the fear beneath the behavior makes sense in the context in which it was learned. I can honor the reason a defense began without allowing the defense to continue causing harm. Then, establish a loving limit. Tell the angry part, you are allowed to be angry, but you are not allowed to insult or threaten another person. Tell the abandoned part, you are allowed to want love, but you are not allowed to make me surrender my dignity to keep someone. Tell the anxious part, you may warn me, but you may not create 100 catastrophes and treat them as facts. Say, I hear you, and the adult within me will make the decision. This is the new order of your inner world. Feelings provide information. Protective parts offer warnings. The mature self examines the present, considers consequences, and chooses action. Now, update the part with current truth. Many defenses react as though the original experience is still occurring. Speak in simple sentences. That happened then. This is now. I have a voice today. I can leave. I can ask for help. I can support myself through disappointment. I no longer have to endure mistreatment to receive love. Do not merely recite these words. Identify the present-day resources that make them true. Name the trusted person you can contact. Recognize the door you can walk through, the money you have access to, the professional support available, the knowledge you have gained, or the boundary you can now express. The younger self needs evidence that the adult world offers choices the child did not possess. Then give the protective part a new role. It does not have to disappear. The controlling part can become preparation. It can help you make a plan, check necessary details, and then stop. Tell it. Your new job is to prepare what belongs to us and release what does not. Anger can become courage. It can identify injustice and help you speak clearly without becoming destructive. Jealousy can become direction. It can reveal a desire and help you take one step toward it. Hypervigilance can mature into discernment, observing patterns, without assuming everyone is dangerous. Perfectionism can become devotion to quality. It can review your work and improve what matters, without removing the right to experiment, rest, and learn. The people-pleasing part can become empathy. It can understand another person's perspective without automatically surrendering your own. The cold part can become thoughtful pacing in relationships rather than complete closure. Say, "You do not have to disappear. I invite you to mature with me." This honors the energy contained in the old defense while removing its harmful authority. Let us speak directly to several parts. To the inner critic, say, "I know you believe criticism will make me improve, but humiliation makes me contract and hide. From today, you may help me recognize what needs correction through truth, patience, and respect. You may review my behavior, but you may not attack my worth." To the procrastinating part, say, "I understand that beginning feels dangerous because the result may not be perfect. We do not need to complete everything today. We will take the next small step. If we make a mistake, I will not punish or abandon you. We will use the information and continue." To the controlling part, say, "Thank you for trying to keep me safe. I will prepare what can reasonably be prepared. I will observe what happens and adjust when necessary." We do not need every answer in advance before we are allowed to feel peace. To jealousy, say, "I am not bad because jealousy appeared. This feeling may be showing me a desire I have not honored. Another person's success does not remove every possibility from my life. Help me name what I want, and then let us take one honest step toward it." To the people-pleasing part, say, "You tried to help me earn love by keeping everyone comfortable. I understand why their disappointment once felt dangerous. But love that requires my disappearance is not safe love. We can be considerate and still say no. We can care about others without leaving ourselves." To the angry part, say, "I hear your protest. Something feels violated, unseen, or unfair. I will protect us, but not through words or actions that create new harm. Show me the boundary that needs to be named, the truth that needs to be spoken, or the situation we need to leave." And to the part that feels unworthy, say, "You heard words that taught you love had to be earned through perfection, usefulness, or silence. Those words became familiar, but they did not become truth. You do not have to earn the right to exist. Your worth is not waiting at the end of another performance. Now go to a mirror. Look into your eyes rather than examining your appearance. Call forward the part you have most often rejected. Perhaps it is shame, envy, neediness, anger, or fear. Let it be present without asking it to look attractive. Say slowly, "I see your shame. I see what you have tried to hide. I am not turning away from you anymore." Pause long enough for the words to register. You may feel tenderness, resistance, grief, or embarrassment. Let the reaction exist. Continue. "I take responsibility for repairing what needs to be repaired, and I still choose to love you while we learn." This is unconditional acceptance with accountability. You do not say that every behavior was right. You say that no behavior places your essential being outside the possibility of love and change. If the word love feels too difficult, use a bridge. "I am willing to learn how to treat this part of myself with kindness." Do not demand a dramatic emotional breakthrough. A small reduction in hostility is meaningful. You are creating a relationship where there was once only exile. How will you know that healing is taking place? Not because the old parts never appear. Healing becomes visible when you notice a reaction before it becomes an action. You can say, the controlling part is activated, rather than immediately controlling everyone around you. You can feel jealousy and ask what you desire instead of diminishing another person. You can speak about a weakness without humiliating yourself. You can apologize without collapsing into the belief that you are irredeemable. You can distinguish the feeling, the need beneath it, and the behavior you choose. You no longer require perfection as proof of worth. My old defenses may still knock, but they no longer own the house. You may still procrastinate sometimes. You may still become angry, frightened, or eager to please. The difference is that these parts are no longer abandoned until they create a crisis, and they are no longer placed in command simply because they are loud. You hear them earlier. You understand them more quickly. You guide them with greater consistency. You do not heal by loving only the pleasant, productive, successful, and peaceful versions of yourself. Self-love becomes real when you remain present during shame, fear, envy, confusion, and emotional disorder. This does not mean you celebrate harmful behavior. It means you refuse to use hatred as the method of correction. Lasting change does not grow from the sentence, "I hate myself, so I must become better." That sentence may create pressure, but it also teaches the nervous system that love is always conditional. Change becomes more sustainable when you say, "I love myself enough to choose differently." Let every part hear this now. I welcome every part of myself with understanding. I thank the old defenses that tried to protect me when I did not know another way. I release the methods that no longer fit the life I am creating. Fear may speak, anger may protest, jealousy may point, and shame may ask to hide, but love now leads. I am the calm and compassionate adult within my inner world. I listen without surrendering wisdom, accept without excusing harm, and set limits without withdrawing love. No part of me is abandoned, and no part must control my life through fear. We are learning together. We are growing together. We are coming home together. My dear, please remember this. There is no part of you that must be exiled before you are worthy of love. Your anger, fear, jealousy, shame, and resistance are not proof that you are broken. They are old messengers asking for understanding and new direction. Listen gently, set loving limits, and let the wise adult within you lead. You do not have to heal everything today. Simply remain beside yourself in this moment. I welcome every part of myself with compassion, and I choose responses rooted in wisdom and love. You are learning, growing, and returning home to your beautiful, authentic self.